Hello, Lori Michelle here with episode 42 of Mommy Messiah Saves the World. World War III has begun, and the rabbis are correct. Mazel Tov. Mashiach is here. You're so smart. Me. Oh, no. Oh, yes. And guess what? I'm with you, rabbis. I don't want to be this. But it's really Hashem. And he says, I need to do this. But I have some information in this podcast about episode 42 and how World War III began years ago. He says, yes, he declared the beginning of World War III, Gog and Magog, back in 2020. And I've been in Israel since 2015. You know, Ariel Sharon died, and the Mashiach is supposed to show up, and I did. I do what I'm supposed to do. And do I want that lofty title? Of course not. If I wanted to be this, I would not be this. And there's a lot of people out there who think they're the Messiah, Christians who think they're the Mashiach or Messiah, and they can't be. It has to be a Jew, and I am. And I am a mom from the United States of America and a grandmother. Isn't this interesting? He says, absolutely. Why aren't you interested? Well, I think your egos can't really handle this. You have to take instruction and advice from a mommy. Wow. And the Torah is written the way that I explain it, that women are more elevated spiritually than men. So it makes complete sense that the final Mashiach in the end of days would be mom. He says it does. I'm talking to him right now, and that's the only way that I would have the chutzpah to keep doing this for all of these years and not much progress. He said, I have progress. I don't consider this progress at all. And you might say, yeah, right, progress. Where are your clicks? Where are your views? Where are your subscribers, right? I don't care about any of that. What I care about is that I say things and I put it out there online, on the internet, which I'm going to speak about today, and that it helps somebody. And I have helped several of you, a few of you listen to every word multiple times and you support this work. And I don't do that for me. I do it all for you if I can help you. That's what I do this for. And I can't seem to stop. And I really want to. He's laughing at me. Hashem has a great sense of humor. So I'm going to talk about that also. He has a phenomenal sense of humor. Everything comes from Hashem. So humor, everything. But you know what does not come from him directly? Evil. It's a choice, the Yetzer Hara, that you grab onto and you become the evil one. He's not evil. Everything he does is wonderful and good. And everything humanity does, not everything. Right now, most of the choices that you're making are putrid. You like that? You're going to click away. You can't listen to me. You can't tolerate this. You think that I'm trying somehow to disparage you. And that's not what I'm doing at all. In fact, rabbis, I think the world of Orthodox Jewish rabbis. Are you insulted if you're not Orthodox? Well, probably. You all have this problem that I don't have. He says I don't have it. And it doesn't compute to me to be insulted or to feel put down. I know you tried to put me down, but you really can't because I don't care what you think of me. But you care what people say about you, and you feel humiliated in front of other people. And that doesn't go into my psyche. I don't understand that. Really doesn't make any sense to me. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to make sense of the senseless world that we live in. And there's a few of you that I do that for. God bless you. So in this podcast, I'm going to explain to you, we're in World War III for many years, and some of you know that. Some of you think we're on the brink of World War III right now. I'm in Israel, and there's a lot of firepower. Trump has sent a lot of firepower here. And we're on the eve of Purim, my least favorite Jewish holiday. I do not like Purim. So I'm going to talk about that, about World War III, began in 2020, and that Mashiach is here, me. And I wish it wasn't. I'm happy to pass the baton on to someone else. And he says there's no one else. So keep listening. Maybe you'll learn something, I hope. He said yes. Listen up. So the second area I'm going to talk about is this war with Iran, Persia, on the eve of Purim is not a coincidence. A lot of people would say, well, duh. There are no coincidences. And this one is all by Hashem's design. So I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about social media and the internet that you're watching me on. My website, YouTube. We're going to talk about social media. It came up recently with one of you. I said to you, guard yourself. So I'm going to talk about social media and how dangerous it is. This is not dangerous. This is trying to give you a clue and light, light in a very dark world. The internet is a scary place. But Mommy Messiah is not someone you should be scared of. And he said, but oh, you're very scared of me. And wow, you need to lose that fear and listen anyway. Guard your eyes and guard your children. I'm going to talk about what you need to do regarding the internet for your children. And I'm going to speak about this episode, 42. Is it the last episode of Mommy Messiah Saves the World? He has the answer. I don't know. And the last area I'm going to speak about is April 1st is April Fool's Day. Another day that I've never liked April Fool's Day. I have never thought it was funny. Not once. I never thought it was funny, April Fool's Day. And this April Fool's Day is Pesach. Interesting, not a coincidence. So we're going to speak about that. I'll probably need my glasses. So here we go. We're going to start, and I'm going to post this. And maybe by the end of me uploading this onto YouTube, I might be running to the bomb shelter. I have no idea what's going to happen. He tells me things, but he doesn't give me play-by-play. Deliberately, he didn't give Moshe Rabbeinu play-by-play. He said, do this, 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 it will turn out okay. Whoa. And Moshe Rabbeinu was buried in the desert, never went into Israel. I have a lot to say about that, but not today. I'm just saying that A lot of people think the Messiah, who speaks to Hashem the way I do, by the way. Oh, he just said, oh, yes, would know everything. I would know your middle name. I would know what color you're thinking of, silly, stupid things like that. But he doesn't tell me everything. I have to go through the motions and live my life very much like all of you, but very different from all of you because I'm speaking to him all the time. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, bedtime. I wake up to his voice always, always, always. And that's the only way that I would have the chutzpah to put this information on the internet. Over 800 videos and counting. Yeah, and you're not curious? He just said some of you are very curious. God bless you. Be curious and keep listening. So, World War III, he told me the morning of the 2020 United States presidential election that today marks the first day of the war of Gog and Magog. It's online. And we know, if you're American especially, what happened that day, that election, and what transpired. A lot of controversy, right? I've had a lot of videos after that day that were pulled by YouTube because there was censorship. I was saying things that he was telling me to post online, and YouTube didn't like it, so they pulled it. Argue, I complied with their rules. Why? Why did I comply? Because I want this information to get to as many people as possible. And he says a lot of people have watched my videos and clicked on my material and quickly walk away, ignore me, mock me. A lot of rabbis are online mocking Lori Michelle. Very dangerous behavior. So I'll get to the internet in a second, but 2020 started the beginning of the spiritual war of Gog and Magog. And that date, I don't remember it right now, but the Torah portions definitely collide with what he's telling me, and I posted about it. I don't remember what the Torah portion was, and I posted about it, but it was the war of Gog and Magog the first day. And from there, we went on to experience the Ukraine and Russia war, and Zelensky recently said that we're in World War III. He knows in Ukraine, they definitely feel like they're in World War III. And he's right, because when Ukraine and Russia started their war 4 years ago, Hashem said, this is the beginning of the bloodshed of the third and final world war, Ukraine. It's somewhere online. Go look for it. So that marked the bloodshed. And he told me that October 7th, 2023, here in Israel, the Hamas massacre and the beginning of the Hamas war that they brought to us, and then flipped it around and said that Israel's committing genocide all over the internet, and all of the anti-Semitism, wow, is off the charts. That line of demarcation was Israel on the front line of the final world war, Gog and Magog. But it's not Israel's war to really fight physically. We're fighting because we're surrounded by enemies. We have enemies within our borders. And it's an existential fight. He says, yes. So we're fighting to protect our family, the Jewish family in Israel. But it's not the Jewish people who are to fight this final world war. The war of Gog and Magog is not Jews fighting against Jews? He says yes. I'm not going to go too far into that. When the rabbis are ready, we'll talk about that. He said, absolutely, just now. Can you hear him? Some of you can hear him. Do they hear your reply? He says, sometimes. God bless you. He's so wow. Isn't he wow? I hope you can hear him. He's a wow. I not only hear him, I feel him. He's sitting here with me. Does that spook you? He said, yes, it does. And you know what? I'm sorry. It's just who I am. This is me. And I need to share this with you. Okay, so we're in World War III. And I need classes, Hashem. I'm very old and I'm getting older, and I don't know how much longer I'll be around. He says I'll be around, but I really don't know. Anyway, this war with Persia, Iran, that's about to begin, I guess. There's been a lot of threatening behavior, right? Trump said help is on its way, and that was 6 weeks ago. But there's a lot of hardware here, ready for war. But this morning, and it's days before Purim, not an accident. And I don't really know play by play what will happen, but he says, get ready for nuclear holocaust. He just said, yes. Do I want that to happen? Well, it's a little bit like the rabbis celebrating the burning of the Second Temple. It's written that way, that they were celebrating and dancing and joyful because they knew that that had to happen for the redemption to occur. But that was over 2,000 years ago already. So I'm not celebrating, but he says this is the generation for world redemption and that we're on target for 2033. We're going to have redemption. But before we can get there, the bloodletting is going to be so intense that it will quench your thirst for hatred and evil speech and war. You're going to have had enough of that. You're going to be ready for redemption. He just said, yes, Lori. So this war, is it going to start this Shabbos? Sure looks like it. Tuesday of next week is Purim. And it's not a coincidence at all. So, I didn't write this. I did write it down. He said he wants me to tell you that Purim, the holiday of Queen Esther, the fast of Esther, I think, is on Monday, where Esther saved the Jewish people from annihilation. Do you know the story of Purim? Oh, if you're from Jew, of course you know. I don't really read the books so much, but he says, Hashem says, Queen Esther was an incarnation of the Mashiach, Shekhinah. It's in my book. Have you read my book? Some of you have read my book. So it's not a coincidence that this war that is about to explode onto the world between Persia and the United States of America and Israel has to do with Purim. And he says, Hashem says, that Queen Esther was one of my incarnations. You've read that, right? Oh, shut up. I'm going to just turn this off and not listen to you. And I would say, you're being foolish, really foolish, because this comes from Hashem. And I don't care, honestly, about past lives. I don't really care. I just care that there's peace and that if there's any chance at world redemption, I want redemption. And I do not want redemption for me. I want it for my children, my grandchildren, and for all the people I love, and that's it. I don't want it for me. Who do you want it for? Who do you want the redemption, the Geula? Let's bring on the Geula. Who do you want it for? And I'm not telling you that it's wrong to want it for yourself, but I'm just telling you, as the Mashiach, Queen Esther reincarnate, according to Hashem, I don't want it for me. I don't really care for it for me. I must see it happen for my children who I love beyond, my grandchildren who I love with all my heart. That's it. And all the people I love. And there are many. So it's not a coincidence. Queen Esther at your service. So the third area I'm going to speak about is social media. This is on social media and the internet, and it's all here for the end of days. He brought this into being. Do you understand that that was Hashem's doing? That YouTube, I believe, came into existence, I'm not sure the year, but right around the year that he woke me up and said, go get pen and paper, Lori, and start writing this down. Give it a shot. And boy, oh boy, it's in my book. Read about it. He woke me up, and I've never stopped hearing him since then, 17 years ago. So I don't know the exact date that YouTube came into existence, but it was right around that time period when Hashem woke me up out of my slumber. So here we go, social media, replete with evil and anti-Semitism. And Tucker Carlson, you're going to listen to him, right? He knows what he's talking about, doesn't he? Absolutely not. Disgusting. Do you eat with that mouth? Really? Terrible. Anti-Semitism, hatred, fear-mongering. And then I saw a news story on Newsmax that there's this new predatory group that targets young girls, and they're into some kind of sadistic sexualization of children. Really terrible stuff on the internet. So you really need to be careful if you're on the internet. But this is where you can find a lot of good information on the internet. There are rabbis who put Torah lessons online. It's very good, but it's also deeply dangerous, especially for you, because you don't seem to know how to navigate this world. This world is very dangerous and evil. And in every moment, you have to pick between truth and lies, evil and good. And you don't seem to know how to do that and keep your balance. The people who study Torah and believe in the Almighty do a much better job, much better. But I see you fall all the time. And I just had a conversation with one of you to please limit your time on the internet. You're watching too much garbage. It's lies, it's terrible, it's feeding the Yetzer Hara that you are susceptible to, the evil inclination. You are all prone to choosing the wrong energy, the wrong decision, evil, Yetzer Hara. And when you watch these horrible videos, it's terrible. It's conspiracy theories and lies. And now it's AI generated, so it looks real. You don't even know what you're watching anymore. This is not AI. Anyway, old Bubby wants you to be protected. So in a Jewish prayer that Jewish men all over the world, religious Jewish men, pray every day, the Shema, it says to guard your eyes by which you are led astray. Watch what you're watching and stay off the internet. Limit your time on the internet. I go on and off all day. Just I check J Post, Jerusalem Post. A little too liberal for me. And I'm not conservative. Some good things on J Post. J Post, Arutz Sheva, Channel 7, Israeli News, and Newsmax. I watch Newsmax. And I just look at the general news feed several times a day. I look at the headlines. If it's something interesting, I'll read it and I'm off. But you can't spend too much time on the internet. And if you have children, and I put down here, I wrote down 18 or younger should not be on the internet at all. So how do you do that? Especially in America, everybody's on the internet and all the teenagers have smartphone technology. But I will tell you, in the Haredi religious Jewish community, they don't have smartphones. You get on the bus and they call them kosher phones, dumb phones. They don't have internet. Some of them are sneaky. They look like kosher phones, but they actually have some internet capability. And it's useful, like GPS. If you're lost and you're somewhere in Israel, you need to get somewhere, it's useful to have GPS. But the religious Jewish community forbids you to be on social media. No kidding. And you look at them, non-Jews in America, the men with black hats and dark coats and long payas and long beards, as stupid. No, it's very dangerous. The internet's very dangerous. So what am I telling you? I'm on the internet. That's how I'm getting information to you. I go on the internet to get information, but I don't have an ego, and I am not attracted to the Yetzer Hara at all. It makes zero sense to me. But to you, you fall easily. So please keep your children off the internet. Stay off of it as much as you can, and just get important information that you think you need for your life and your safety. Like GPS if you're going somewhere, or Lori Michelle and my podcast. Seriously, this is important. So guard yourself. And my next area that I'm going to talk about is a question that I posed to Hashem that he wants me to answer for you. Is this Lori Michelle, Mommy Messiah's last episode of Mommy Messiah Saves the World? I asked him this. So is this it? Massive war, F-22s, F-35s, two aircraft carriers ready to strike Iran. Is this it? The end? He said, no, it's not the end. Oh, thank you, Hashem. He says it's a new beginning. But is this the last episode? He said, maybe. Interesting. Do you like these podcasts? He said, some of you love my podcasts. So I don't know. This is kind of getting stale for me. I want to give you more. And this has been good for a year. I started last Purim, I think, around this time, a year ago. And I'm just tired of this. It's not going anywhere. I want to get on the road. I want to be at Giant Stadium. I want you running on love. Why are you so resistant? Isn't that a great idea to heal the world? Let's come together and run for charity, for love, and raise funds and money to build the road for world redemption. And the rabbis can come and teach Jewish men how to put on tefillin. Come on, rabbis. You have nothing to lose with Mommy Messiah. Really. So I don't know. It might be my last podcast. But he just said to add, it will not be the last time you hear from Lori Michelle. So I don't know what's next. So April 1st, this is the last part of this podcast, number 42. April 1st is April Fool's Day. And this folly, whatever I'm doing online, I'm done with this. He says, I'm not done. You'll hear from me. But this is just foolish. Foolishness. I'm not getting anywhere with you. And I don't care for me. I care for you. I didn't write the book for me, though it was very cathartic and healing to put it all down on paper and put it in a book form, because I went through a lot. But the knowledge in that book and the explanations and revelations about the world and creation and Mashiach and Hashem and the Jewish people, that came from Hashem. I didn't make any of it up. And it's for you. If you don't want it, and clearly up until this point, very few people have wanted this, what am I going to do? Free will. So April 1st, this folly has to end. And March, I don't know if I'm going to be doing another podcast, but I'm going to be cleaning up all my chametz, all my bread and things that I'm not supposed to eat on Pesach, and all the negativity, all the nastiness. I want to push it all away. I don't want any part of it. So I'm going to eat this, whether it's a celebration or not. You know, I've used this as a metaphor. It's really not up to me, whether you read the book, whether we come together, whether we ever have a geula. I'm just the spokesperson for Hashem. I'm just sharing what he wants from you. It's really up to you and Hashem. And I'm Skippy Peanut Butter in the middle. And I love Skippy. So in March, after Purim, I'm going to eat this. Maybe you'll get a jar and have some with me. I would really love some grape jelly. I don't think grape jelly is kosher, but I'll look for some. I would love some grape jelly and peanut butter. But, you know, I was raised not kosher at all. And we had a lot of Welch's grape jelly. I don't think that was kosher. No. But this is kosher. And I'm going to eat it because I can't eat it on Passover. It's chametz for Ashkenazi Jews. We're not allowed to have this. So I'm going to eat it. And then after, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be. I can't quit. I want to. I want to stop. I want someone to show up. And there's a lot of men out there, he says yes, who think you're the Mashiach. You think so. Messiah. I'm on board. Do it. Just do it. Get some chutzpah. Get a backbone, mister, and do something. But the longer this goes on, the longer this has gone on for years, I don't see it. The longer it goes on and the less that I succeed, the more I know I'm the Mashiach. And if you want that lovely title, you're not the Mashiach. If you want redemption for yourself, because you think it would be so wonderful to be in that world where there's no sin and no terror and no war and no cancer, and you live forever and you're young and beautiful forever, and you just want to experience that, you're not the Mashiach. Because that's not what I want it for. I want you to experience it. Does that make sense to you? He says, no. I don't care. I really don't care for me. I pray that Hashem is telling the truth and that we experience redemption. on April 14th, that's the date. Yeah, redemption has a date that he gave me. April 14th, 2033. Seriously, he gave me that date. I want to see it happen for you. And he says, you and he, the two pieces of Wonder Bread, and I'm just this. The Wonder Bread is going to make me want to stay here forever. He just said yes. I want you to make me want to be here. I don't want to be here. Some of you don't want to be here, but sadly, you're the reason why it's not so nice here sometimes. Some of you are wonderful more than half the time, but every once in a while, you fall. And if you're really wonderful, I'm going to gently give you a hand and help you up. And if you're not so wonderful and you're really nasty, not a nice person, I'm going to take my pink baseball bat and I'm going to knock you over the head. And why am I going to do that? Because I'm mad at you? No, I'm going to do it for your benefit. I don't need to do that for me. I don't want revenge. Revenge for what? I don't want to hurt you. God forbid. I want to help you. And if I see you doing something stupid and dangerous to yourself and your family, I'm going to punch you in the head with words, maybe with a fist. Don't do that. I'm a strong mother. You know what I mean? God bless you. So this is it, episode 42. I don't know if there's going to be another one, but he said you'll hear from me in one way or another. God bless you. I don't know what's happening. President Trump, help is on the way. And now, wait a second, they're trying to get Israel to do the first strike. Oh, come on. Your chicken shit? Come on. I know, I just said a bad word. Sorry. Chicken dreck. Backbone, do something good. These people are not people. In Iran, whoa. We need to send them to Hashem. Not revenge, not vengeance, not murder, not genocide. Send them to Hashem. Send the filth to him and let him deal with it. I don't want revenge. God bless you. He said the Geula is coming. Come on. He just said yes. Do you hear him? God bless you. I hope you can hear him. He's so wonderful.